All right, sports fan, welcome to Sports Night with Jorge. Uh, got some NFL, some baseball news and score. So just to let you guys know, uh, it's Sunday. I hope you guys enjoying your Sunday. I'm gonna start with the NFL injuries. As you know, the Atlanta Falcons plays rookie outside linebacker Brian Trice on the injury reserve. He's out for the whole year. He suffered that injury also against the Miami Dolphins in the second quarter Friday night. Same thing as the Dolphins. They lost Keon, the offensive lineman, also with a torn ACL. He'll be out exactly for the whole year also. So, those are injuries that just happens in the NFL, guys. It's preseason and hopefully these guys get better soon. But of course, when the out for the year, torn ACL, that takes a little time to rehab. So, one guy that looked good today actually is the actually quarterback for Chicago. My gosh, that guy put in the show last night. He looked real good. So we also had from all this from ESPN reporting Watson won't play versus the Vikings. Clear for clear for contact, so he will not play. Giants rookie wide receiver Neighbor Hurts ankle at practice. We have Giants Jones return to the game action versus the Texans. Um, Source says that suspended safety Gibson joining the Jacksonville Jaguars. So he signed, I think, a 1 year deal. That's towards ESPN. That's what they're reporting. Then Pierce to name Raiders #1 quarterback after next game. So hopefully we'll see who'll be the next quarterback for the LA Raiders. Cowboys Jones to hold out. Lamp, uh, according to CD Lamp, I think the Dallas Cowboys are actually moving on. It's up to him, guys. I know he wants a contract too, so let's see what happens there. So I know the Cleveland Browns are trying to look for a dome somewhere in the suburb and in Cleveland. So I don't know how that's gonna work. So hopefully hopefully that would help the team. I mean, I know it's a cold weather down there, the snow and all that. I mean, tradition in sports has gone away, guys. So but anyhow, that's what I got for actually the NFL. Not much. I mean, preseason second game starting next week. I'll get you the schedule on that one in a few minutes. Um, we'll get you next week's schedule, and we should be okay. And then I will give my top 20, actually my first top 10 in college football, and then I'll do the entire top 25. It's a lot of teams going to shock you out there that I really picked. That people looked at me and says, are you really sure, George?" I say, "Well, yeah. You got to give these teams a chance, guys. You got to give this team a opportunity to play in this league. I love college football because you got youngster that comes to the NFL and they go to the 53-man roster. But my question is, why they don't pursue of leaving that person a chance to play in the NFL? I know NFL teams are looking for actually players when they come through free agency and through trades and OTAs and they also got practice squads and they pick the players. But give the guy a chance in your team, man, especially a college kid. If you draft him, give him the opportunity to see what he has. Sometimes it doesn't work on the first year. Well, you got the second year, but then sometimes, they're in the bench, and my question is, why do you draft them then? I think you got to give these kids a chance to play in this league. All right, let me get this here. There it is. All right, let's look at next week preseason game coming up. Um, of course, on Saturday will be the Washington Commanders versus the Dolphins at 7 p.m. Then on Thursday night will be actually that'll be the first game. Thursday night, Philadelphia at New England at 7 p.m. Then we have Atlanta at Baltimore on Saturday, 8:17 at 12 p.m. Then we have Giants versus Houston at 1 o'clock on Saturday. We also have Cincinnati at Chicago on Saturday at 1 o'clock, and then Detroit at Kansas City at 4 p.m. Minnesota at Cleveland at 4:25 on Saturday. So it's a full sling of actually preseason football. And then you got Seattle at Tennessee at 7 o'clock on Saturday. Then you got the Jets at Carolina Panthers at 7 o'clock on Saturday. Uh, Arizona at Indianapolis at 7 p.m. on Saturday. Then you got Buffalo at Pittsburgh at 7 p.m. Saturday. Then the Rams and Chargers at 7 p.m. also, at 7:05, sorry, on the 17th. You got Dallas at Las Vegas at 10 o'clock p.m. on Saturday the 8th. And then on Sunday, you got two games. The Green Bay Packers against the Denver Broncos, that's at 8 p.m. And then you have New Orleans against San Francisco on Sunday at 8 p.m. That's your preseason. That's your second preseason. Of course, the only team they'll play four game will be the Bears because they play the Hall of Fame game. So that is your schedule for your preseason games. Now let me go to actually baseball because baseball is turning real good lately. I mean, it's getting real good. Uh, Unfortunately, if you're an Oriole fan, Baltimore lost to Tampa Bay today, 2-1. That was a good game too. Seattle beat the Mets. Lead the Mets 10-1, bottom seven. We had the Angels beating Washington 6-4. These are finals. Houston beating Boston 10-2. We had the Yankees beating the Texas 8-7. That's a final. So that means the Yankees and the Orioles are tied for first place. You got Oakland beating Toronto 8-4. Miami, the Marlins beat San Diego 7-6. You got Cincinnati beating Milwaukee 4-3. Cleveland beat Minnesota 5-3. Atlanta lost to Colorado 9-8. I'm sorry, 9-8. Detroit beat San Francisco 5-4. We had Arizona beating Philadelphia 12-5, and then we had the Dodgers in final in 10, beating the Pittsburgh Pirates 6-5. So, looking at the standings, Baltimore is 70-49, and so is the Yankees 7, and they're tied in first place. Followed by Boston at 7.5, and then you got Tampa Bay at 10 games, and Toronto at 15.5. In the Central, you got Cleveland at 69-49. You got Minnesota at 65-52. They're only 3.5 games out. Kansas City are 4 games out. They're 65-53. Detroit, 13.5 games out. And the White Sox are 41.5 games out. In the West, you got Houston, which is going back and forth with Seattle. Houston 62-55, followed by Seattle 62-56. They only have games out. Then you got Texas at 7.5 games out. They're 55-63. Then you got the Angels 10.5, and then Oakland at 13. So that's your American League. Now let me look at the National. You got Philadelphia with 69 and 49. Atlanta and the Mets are tied for second place at 61 and 56. You got Washington 15 and a half games out. Now wait till I get to the wild card. It's going to get very interesting. You got the Marlins at 44 and 75, 25 and a half games out. Then you got Milwaukee, who leads their division by 7.5 over St. Louis. They're 65 and 50. St. Louis is 60 and 58. Followed by the Cubs at 59 and 60. Cincinnati at 57 and 61. And Pittsburgh is 56 and 61. They're 11 games out. I did like to pick them in the wild card. I think they have an opportunity. It's a young ball club, guys. I'm telling you right now, they're playing good ball. You got to give them credit. They are playing good ball. All right. And in the West, that finished, I'll wrap it up. Sorry. The Dodgers are 69 and 49. Followed by Arizona and San Diego tied at 66 and 53. They both are 3.5 games out. Then you got San Francisco at 9 games out. And then finish with Colorado at 25 and a half. Now, when we get to the wild card, watch how close this is, guys. Okay? On the wild card, the Yankees lead by 4.5, followed by Minnesota by half game. But then you got Kansas City, Boston, Seattle, and Tampa Bay still. That's how close it is. Boston by 3 behind, Seattle by 3 behind, and Tampa Bay 5.5. International, we got Arizona plus 4. They're 4 game ahead of the wild card, and San Diego also 4 games, which they're tied. Followed by Atlanta and the Mets. Okay, then you got St. Louis at 1.5, San Francisco at 1.5, Chicago 3 games out, the Cubs. Then you got Cincinnati at 4.5, and you still got Pittsburgh at 5 games out. That's how close it is, guys. Even the Washington National, but they're still 8 games out, but they're 44 and 75. It's going to be impossible that Philadelphia and the Mets and Atlanta will lose all these games at the end of the season, even though what hurt Atlanta this year was all the injuries they got. Same thing as the Orioles. I think they lost like 3 or 4 starting pitchers. Uh, Most of the beginning of the season and then at the second half of the season. So that's your baseball right there, guys. So if you like baseball, so I gave you my NFL and baseball. So hopefully, I get more information and more detail as I go on. Most of these information are from ESPN. I do get I always report the ESPN report. Uh, if you want to know if the Phillies claim right-handed pitcher Tyler from waivers from the Marlins, I'm telling you, these teams need pitching. They're struggling. So now we have another Dodger, Ryan Elbow, to miss the rest of the season. That's going to hurt the Dodgers. Now you got another one. Red Sox left-handed pitcher Paxton to have image on his calf. Now they're going to see if he's going to be able to pitch. You know, uh, Now you got Astro Verlander neck makes first rehab start. Hopefully he's coming back from rehab. You got Brewers left-handed pitcher Hall of IL, which he just came out since April. So hopefully he'll come back strong for the Brewers. But you got a lot of injuries, guys. A lot of a lot of injuries. A lot of players coming back. I did notice that's a lot of players that they were traded that really has given the team a little boost, which is helping them in their division. But you know, there's nothing better than your ace. If you have your ace, hey man, you got more chance, more opportunity to win. But that is your baseball. Uh, Once again, I want to congratulate the dream team. They won the gold medal. Just to let you guys know. Now, one thing I'm gonna say about my podcast, guys, I do have a community out there. I got my shorts. I got my videos. Be sure that you comment, hit the like button, and it's fine if you don't like it. Listen, I'm not gonna get mad, guys. I'm not here to battle with you guys. Tell me what I need to change. Tell me what I need, something I could work better. Uh, at it, as you see. Uh, I am a Dolphin fan. I'm an Oriole fan, but I try to get everything mixed together so people don't feel uncomfortable. There's just that's a Dolphin channel. It's not a Dolphin channel. Okay, I don't get promoted. I don't do that. Just to give you a heads up, I'm not promoted from nobody. I'm doing this on my own. All the videos that I do, it's on my own. Everything you see out there, videos, intros, outros, I do that by myself, guys. I work on that every day, try to get better on it. I remember just to let you go for those who have subscribed and are new to the channel. This is my first time doing it. I started January 1st. I come a long way. I appreciate all you guys that have subscribed. I really do. I also appreciate those that give me the like. But my major concern is be sure that you, when I go live, guys, you have your bell notification on. Okay, I test that today. You're gonna see a couple of videos today. I was testing only. I was testing. I did it on my own to see if it come out. Of course, it's gonna come out because I'm actually in my studio. But I need you guys to respond to be sure that I'm there. Now, I'm gonna make some changes. Like I'm telling everybody out there, I might go live Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday. It's on a working process. Okay. I try to get as much information as I can. See, people don't like to see videos because videos take too long. But if the subject is good enough to interact, now let me tell you, my shorts has grown a lot. My short, since I put it out there, it has grown a lot. But like once again, guys, I'm not competing with nobody. I get report from Adam Scheffner. I get report from the Bleacher Report. I mean, I use other sources to help me out and also to give you the accurate information. I'm not going to give you something out there that's not true. Okay. I also have the Dolphin, channel with me, and and I look, I read, I study, I study every NFL team. The Pittsburgh Steelers, an example. I had a guy a while back ask me about Justin Field and uh and the quarterback Russell Wilson, who's going to start. I got my opinion. You got yours. I'll go with the veteran guy. Hopefully he comes back. He gets healthy. Justin Field learn from it. Now here we go again. We watch preseason, and one thing I've been telling my people in the podcast, I don't judge anybody. They're players. They're gifted. Okay, they play the game, but I'm not here to criticize anybody. Things happen. Justin Field, a game against Pittsburgh against Houston, didn't win too well, but you know that's okay. He's learning. It's a different system. I'm a firm believer, and I've been saying this for a while. When you are a pocket passer and you have a coach, okay, an offensive coach that likes a running quarterback, it is, I won't say it's difficult to adjust, but that's not his style. So you cannot have a running quarterback when your coach is a pocket passer coach. Does that make sense? Some people don't understand that. Why? Because that's why you see a lot of careers of quarterback diminished. They just diminish because you say, wow, he could have been good. He could have been. I mean, it is what it is, guys. I mean, you use a set of schemes in your ball club, okay? Especially in your offensive line, your defensive line, okay? And I'll give you an example now, and I'll give the example of the Miami Dolphins, and not changing the subject, but Weaver comes in from Baltimore, takes care of the defensive coordinator position in Miami. We had Fangio, and Fangio left. Now, Fangio, of course, that's where he wanted to go. He wanted to go to Philadelphia. That's his family, and that's okay. He could go. I'm not going to criticize the guy. But some players didn't like to play for Fangio because Fangio brings a different scheme of defense into Miami. So what does the defensive coach does? Find the right player that fit that scheme. He's going to try to match speed from speed. He's going to try to match coverage from coverage. And that's what he does. That's what they do. Okay, that's plain and simple. I mean, we don't have to go to school for these things because it's obvious, guys and girls. But it's like you can't put a 250 pound, let's say, linebacker, and then you got a receiver. You got a linebacker recovering a receiver that's probably 180. You know what's going to happen. You know, just things like that, like tight ends. I mean, tight ends are getting. I mean, the tight ends are getting so big right now, so physical. The offensive line. You know, one thing I learned lately that I've been seeing. You got offensive linemen that could run a 4.3 or 4.5. These guys are huge, and this is the impressive stuff. So, you know, you look it around, and that's what I'm trying to say, guys and girls, is that you have to look at the players, look at the position that you have. I mean, when you want to play somebody, now that doesn't mean that you're going to win all the time. You might get burned in that position, but don't don't take a player because if you come out of college and you are a cornerback or a safety, why I'm changing you why I'm changing you from position to position. That's what you play. That's what you're good at. Now, I'm not saying that sometimes changes are good. Yeah, it happens. But then it takes time to develop. And sometimes players could come back to the coach, hey coach, hey man, don't get upset with me, man, but I just don't play that position. I'm used to a safety or I'm used to a cornerback. These are the things that worries me now in the National Football League. If you notice lately how many quarterbacks career, running back career has been cut short, they've been drafted, they picked them. Oh, he doesn't fit our scheme. Well, I don't think it's the player. I think each team to examine themselves and look at the coaches. Look at your defensive coach. Look at your offensive coach, your defensive line coach, your offensive line coach. Because there's so many coaches in the league. So what we try to do here is try to put the same players in the same position so they can play. You know, now sometimes a coverage could be good, sometimes it's not. Okay, but everything starts up front, especially in the defense and the offense. You put pressure on the quarterback, you're gonna have a field day. You have no pressure on the quarterback, he's gonna blow you all day throwing the passes. So and this is what I'm saying, guys. The scheme of a team matters when what type of players you're putting in your ball club or in your roster. You have to be fair. You have to be reasonable to understand this is the guy that I need in this position. But when you move it out of position, I think you're calling for trouble. Okay, and it happens. I'm not saying that overnight it's going to happen, but it takes practice. It takes time of changing. But I'm a firm believer that when you have a 53-man roster and you implement all these players, because let me tell you, on the 53-man roster, they are watching the same films I'm watching, the same film you're watching. There's no difference. You don't have 11 on offense, 11 on defense, and they go have a film study. No, you got all 53 men looking at that film because they had to prepare when the time comes to come into the field. A tight end gets hurt, here comes the other tight end. A receiver gets hurt, here comes another receiver. I mean, it's something that it really it doesn't take a rocket scientist, but I'm a firm believer that the coaches has something to do with it. Okay, this is why I think Justin Field didn't fit Chicago. Can he fit Pittsburgh? Remain to be seen. Okay, because that I know of, Pittsburgh's always been a passing, no, a pocket passer. Rottenberg, Rudolph, Pickett, which didn't last. Now he's in Philadelphia. I mean, it's just a pocket passer. Now, I'm not saying you could run, but just think about that, for a second. It's obvious, guys. But anyhow, um, going back to what I was saying earlier about the teams in the NFL, the chemistry and all that, uh, which I think I said that a while back. Getting the players in the conversation I was having now about having a set of schemes, a set of plays that you could generate, and then preparation for the club, for the ball club that you're facing. That's another thing. I know it's going to be hard to match one on one. There is. There is kind of tough. I'm not going to say in every single game, you're going to be perfect. It's not going to happen. So, you have to see your coverages, okay? Those that know sports, which I know most of you guys do know. Uh, Ramsey, the Dolphins, an example. Everybody say, man, he's a great cornerback. He's a great safety. Well, yeah, but he's been burned before. He's been burned on big plays, okay? And then you say you got cornerbacks and a safety comes in to help that coverage, okay? And that happens in the NFL. But sometimes, let's be honest, if the guy has more speed than you, he's gonna burn you regardless. And one thing I noticed when that happens in the game, what do a coach does every time? They adjust. They look at the films, go to the sideline. They say, hey, man, this guy's burning you. We're going to make some changes. We're going to move this guy here and you over here. And this is the adjustment they do. And what happened? When you go to the second half, or it could be the first half, whatever, you say, wow, why are they not throwing the ball no longer to that receiver? Because they found a scheme that fits that need to cover that receiver so he will keep open on the field and catching passes and embarrass the defense. And that and that's part of sports, guys. That's football. That's football. You know. So anyhow, I do have my top 25. I'll get that for you. Hopefully, I'm gonna say sometime this week or Sunday or next Sunday. I know that opening day in college football is the 24th. That I do know. So August 24th. But anyhow, I want to thank everybody once again. They have subscribed, give me the likes, the thumbs up. Guys, it's very important to you guys to interact. I'm going to say it one more time, man. You guys got to have that bell notification on. Listen, if I could, uh, which way I could say this, if I wish I could have a schedule when you guys are home, which I know you guys work in different times, I would like to have it. That's why I do this recording. And see, people don't watch videos for 30 minutes. They don't like watching videos. They like short videos. That's why I like to go live and then do it live and then get it over with. Hopefully my subscriber will grow more. Hopefully I could get monetized with YouTube. And like I was saying, I'm not here to compete with anybody. This is something that I just started. I'm having fun with it. I'm a positive person. Like I told everybody, I don't bring no negativity. I'm realistic. You could have your opinion. I got mine, and I respect that. Because everybody see things in a different way. But at the end of the day, man, these guys are gifted. Okay, they're gifted because God gave them the gift to play football, to play sports. You know, and that's something that you have to understand. And remember, it's just sports. Sports is entertainment. It's really entertainment. People don't see it that way. I mean, you love your team. You got fans and fanatics. I discuss that all the time in my podcast. And I'm not mad at that or upset at that. That's your team. Listen, my team hasn't won a playoff in 24 years. But I'm not gonna get mad. I'm not gonna, oversleep because of that. That's part of sports, guys. You have a good team, you get a bad team, you get successful. I'll use an example of San Francisco 49ers last year. They should have won the Super Bowl. They didn't. Okay? The window closed. They shut down. What happened? Players are cut. Players are released. Players are gone. And we all say, well, it's still the 49ers. They're good. I got a guy that got upset with me because I did pick the Chiefs to win the division, but I gave them 11-6 record. Okay, I might go 12-5 on them, but they got a tough schedule. But the Chief, who the Chief has? Mahomes, the coach, Kelsey, Pacheco. Okay, they got a fast receiver. Here we go again, guys. One receiver does not make the entire football team. 11 on defense, 11 on offense, and don't forget your 53-man roster. This is what I try to implement everybody. Let's take that away because the Tariq Hill went to Miami, to the Dolphins, to Florida. Okay, he's been there 2 years. Has he taken Miami to the promised land? No, because it takes a team. You know what? There's not an I in team. What to me, I myself. It's a whole team, guys. The whole entire team. But anyhow, you guys have a good night. Have a blessed night. And I'll be talking to you guys soon. Stay tuned. Be sure you got your notification on. I have some short videos out there. I have breaking news if it comes out. And I'll let you guys know the moment it does. So have a blessed night. Thank you so much, those that have subscribed and those that I met today at Walmart and I met in the parking lot. Guys, thank you so much, man. I'll see you guys. Take care now.